Welcome everybody to the Commissioner meeting July 21st. Who join me in the Pledge of Allegiance first. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Absolutely. Good to see y'all tonight. Everybody got a good night going on? I see some smiles out there. That makes me feel better when I see smiles. Nobody's got darts, right? Okay, we'll start off. We approved the minutes from July 7th, accounts payable vouchers, and approved payroll docket.
I'll make a motion to accept minutes from July 7th, accounts payable and the payroll dockets as submitted.
Second that.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
City of Madison ARP funding. What is that?
We're gonna table that now. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Why me?
You're the one that.
Oh, so,
Yeah.
so here's the darts are coming.
Here's
Then
the dart.
it's gonna be you.
Yeah. No, you've rolled this. You've rolled this really good.
It's just the one, but I can quickly change it to the second one. If you would like.
Yeah. Had a Goodyear
Wow.
track.
So we did have a comment that we were kind of battling big checks there for a while because you guys gave one and you had a big check. So this is for one part of it. So hopefully
Thank
it
you
goes to
so
help
much.
folks in water. Let's get it that way. So anyway.
Get the chair out of it.
Yeah.
All right, ready? Okay.
So this is probably the one that's more meaningful if you want to hold on to that one. So, this one, sorry.
They're both very meaningful.
Someone asked if they could keep that one. We only got one.
Hold on, this took me just 2 seconds.
Sure. Drivers,
We love those big checks.
Sure. Thank you. I'll give you that one. So, I mean, that's something we've tried to do in our plan is make sure we help everybody. I mean, everybody's a part of this, so hopefully this.
It's very meaningful. Can I say a couple of remarks here?
No, you can.
Nice try.
This is
I
mine.
know.
This
I'm-
is, didn't work.
I'm kind of shy.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I just want to say we're really grateful for it, and here's why.
Shy.
Working together, right? And the water project is going to go a long way. We're in the bidding process now, finalizing our plans. As you know, it's been a long time since we've invested in clean drinking water, so that's going to go a long, long way toward the cost. On the stormwater side, this is extremely meaningful too. Over the course of the last 100+ years, there's been 7 major flash floods in the North Walnut Street area that has caused millions of dollars of damage and dozens of lives lost. We want to prevent that in the future or mitigate the impact on the future. A week ago, we had the groundbreaking for Sunrise Crossing, and in that part of that Crooked Creek watershed project, which this is helping finance, we announced that we're building a stormwater retention basin in that development that will slow down 2.8 million gallons of runoff from 80 acres of commercial property north of Clippy Drive into the Crooked Creek watershed. That, as you know, everything will make its way downtown on its way to the river. So all of this is extremely, extremely impactful. We're still waiting on the Army Corps of Engineers' final study of the Crooked Creek watershed to bring more solutions to the table. But we think that we've already identified some very meaningful solutions that will help us mitigate future flash floods in that particular area. And this is going to go a very, very long way. So we're really grateful for y'all's collaboration and support on it. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
along those lines,
Yeah.
we've just started a stormwater management ordinance that we're going to work with you guys on. So I think that'll help.
I think through this whole process, we've just discovered as a community, our stormwater management practices need modernized, and that's what the study, both with the Corps of Engineers and with Wood Associates who you've hired, will help us for. So thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Got it? Thank you.
Bob, you talk about the city and the county
So
working
thank you so
together.
much, yeah. Thank you.
There's a lot more of that goes on than people know. Like, we did the sidewalk down there in front of the courthouse.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We partnered up with Tony Sorrells,
Yes.
got that done, so that's just some
That's
little
just
things
one-
goes
that's
on
just one
behind the
little thing.
scenes that people don't know about, so.
The collaboration we have with the new jail and bringing substance use and mental health solutions to the table there. I don't know if the community broadly knows, but we also have a partnership on historic preservation, economic development. So there's some big ticket items, for example, that we're all working together on. And this was just one more of those things that's very helpful, and a lot more to come. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Scott, it looks like you're on the next.
I'm on the docket.
You're on the next.
If you just want to change the name on that check, then Jefferson County 4-H will move right along. I got a presentation not for you to read, but for you to take home, just because in my life I do presentations. So just wanted to come for our, well, I guess first.
Spreadsheet attached?
Yeah, you want a spreadsheet? I can do that for you. There's 3 supporting it. So I am Scott Edwards, Jefferson County 4-H Fair Board President. We're responsible for supporting and growing 4-H in the county, supporting the grounds at the fairgrounds, and coordinating the 4-H fair every year. I think you guys know us and everything. We like to come about this time of year because we just got the fair done and it's kind of fresh on everybody's mind, and thank you all for your support, because largely we're one of the bigger youth development things that go on in the county with 4-H. We do provide a lot of life skills, and there's a lot of parent, leader, coaching, and everything that goes along with that. So first few pages on here is just an overview of 4-H. I know you pretty much are familiar with us and everything. If we go back to, if you want to follow along, if we go back to page 8, just to give a little where we're at this year. So we did have our second live fair after COVID. We did see an increase. We saw 473 youth served through the program. That's an 8% increase over last year. We did see almost 2,300 projects entered in the fair for an 11% increase. And we're kind of known as an ag organization, but we're really not. We're a youth development organization. We do a lot of projects that are outside the livestock. We had 848 exhibit hall projects, which is a 40% increase over last year. So our extension staff and our fair board are really doing good to drive participation up and everything. The other thing I'd highlight on page 10 is the 4-H livestock auction, which is the large part of it. So, you know, we look at 4-H, a lot of our expenses are the grounds and the fair. The fair is our fundraiser. The grounds are there for the 4-H youth to showcase their activities every year. We have a very strong 4-H program in the county, probably stronger than a lot of others. We wouldn't have that if it wasn't for the fairgrounds and the fair that we have every year, because that's what gets the kids to come back. Large part of that is the livestock, which is our auction. We had over $306,000 bid on the animals this year for the 4-H kids. So we averaged a little over $1,100 per animal sold there. So if you guys are familiar with inflation, the cost of feed, the cost of animals gone up, so that encourages our kids, lets them come back year after year and grow those projects. And we were supported by almost 100 businesses and individuals in that auction supporting the kids. So I think that really drives home the support that we have in the county for what we do. We also donated 57 animals to the House of Hope, so that goes a long way to their needs throughout the year, and they're able to barter that for other things and support their activities. Again, I respect your time, and I don't want to go over too much because I know you're familiar with us. 14 just kind of shows where our expenses and everything has been going. Just kind of highlight, we do appreciate the county's support every year. We couldn't have the level of 4-H that we have with you. You're about 60% of our funding. I think in the 15 years I've been involved, that's gone down from maybe a quarter to 16%. So we have been driving other fundraising, other activities to help support our growth and everything. Also, if you look at our expenses there, most of our expenses are geared toward maintaining the fairgrounds, insurance for our events, and utilities. 2 key change points this year. We do appreciate the EMA. We originally let the EMA store their stuff out there for free, and then when it became longer term, we entered an agreement with the county for their rent. That's been a big help for us, especially after the COVID year where we didn't have a fair, because you can see on here that 42% of our income comes from the fair itself. So that year was a hard year. Having that extra rental really helped us get through that. So we appreciate that. That is ending in August, so next year that's something that'll come out of our funding. And then what we have done is we've started doing an open show, which brings a lot of people in the county. So we had about 200 participants this year coming from all over the state. So that brought tourism into the county, and we've been doing that to help us raise money and fundraising. So we were able to replace a tractor that's probably 30 years old on the fairgrounds this year through that kind of activity and everything. So again, we just like to give you an update where we are. Your funding is important. We know you guys are going through your budget process. We hope you'll consider us again. And I think that, like the EMA partnership, I think you guys use our buildings to do some meetings and stuff like that. Anything that we can partner with you, we have 60 acres out there. We have a lot of really nice buildings. So anything that we can partner and help you all out with, please let us know. Okay, that's what I have.
Yes.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
for your time.
Scott, appreciate it. That's Scott Davidson. How are you, young man?
Gentlemen, how you doing? Pleasure seeing you guys this evening. I have 2 pieces of paper. I don't do spreadsheets like Scotty does or anything like that, but just 2 things. First of all, we appreciate your guys' support of the Hanover Parks in the past, and we want to continue the support we've received. I think in the past you've given $5,000 for our senior program and also $5,000 for our park programming. The request we're making today is in addition to those 2 requests. And because the park, as you guys well know, it's starting to boom and booming well. We'll start with our Hanover Holiday Happenings, which we had our first annual Tinsel Twinkle Trail last year with our Holly Jolly Santa celebration and the like, and it was an unbelievable success. It started with our Christmas Craft Fair, which took place the weekend before the actual Holly Jolly Santa celebration. And then we had our actual event, which was a 2-day event. First night it rained. It was horrible weather-wise. But thankfully we had a tent during our bicycle giveaway. And then the next night the weather cooperated, but it did not keep people away. There were still a ton of people that came out to the park to enjoy what we were presenting. The Tinsel Twinkle Trail, just to let you guys know, we have a path there at Hanover Park, and it takes you all the way around through the park. And we had the entire park lit up with lighted things, different things, and it's going to continue to grow. We also had inside the building, which was packed because it was Friday night and pouring down rain, we had a cookie bake-off, and we had some great volunteers helping with our sugar plum bake-off. It helped fund also part of our senior program. They helped sell some of the cookies to make some dollars off of that. So we had great sponsorship from the community and support with everything that was going on with that. We had costume characters going around. We had carolers going around. It was a great festival event. And we just look to continue to grow that. And with that, obviously, there'll be some additional expenses, which includes adding some additional lighting and the like out at the park. So we're requesting to help with that an additional $10,000. And we're hoping to make this a self-funding event within 5 years, so we will not come back and ask for additional money because of some grants that we're working on and some other collaborations that we're working on. So it will take care of itself through other sponsorships and donations. But we are planning to add events every year, so it's not going to be the same old every year. For example, we're going to add a candy cane hunt this year. Along with, we're going to do some Christmas trees out there. They'll be sponsored by local businesses. That'll be along the path, and we'll also have a veterans tree dedication going on as part of our Hanover Holiday Happenings out there. We'll light the trail up right before Thanksgiving, and it'll stay lit up through Thanksgiving, through actually New Year's Day. And there's a lot that goes into that. I mean, and the volunteers have been super and helpful with that. And the volunteers that dressed up some of our characters are great, and we're looking forward to similar characters being involved this year. Lord Coco and Grinch, I think, are in the building right now. So we look forward to him having a lot of folks involved with that event. And we'll continue to add some other things. We've got a book giveaway that's part of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. It's going to be some of the new things we'll have out there, and there'll be more information coming up about that. Also, youth sports and recreation, another part of what we do out there. We're multifaceted. We have a senior program that we take care of in the community building. We have our youth programming and also other special events. Our youth sports and recreation programming went from 0 when I started there. On the second page, if you'll see, I started in November of 2020, and there was no youth programming going on at the park at all. The Southwestern Rec Association had run programming before that, and that organization did a great job for many years, but became defunct basically. So The first year that we had programming out there for baseball and softball, actually our first event was an Easter egg hunt where we served 100 kids. This past year we had over 300 kids for our second Easter egg hunt, so we're growing that. But for baseball and softball last year we had 300 kids involved in our program. That included several from around the immediate area. And actually of those kids, we had 31 teams. 5 teams were from Trimble County and 2 from Madison that participated last year. This year, our numbers grew to 340 kids and 31 teams. All 31 of those teams signed up through the Hanover Park office. So, and we reached out and we played some games with teams from Madison, Switzerland County, Carroll County, New Washington, building relationships, also Trimble County. So we're trying to become more of a regional area out there using our facilities. And of course the facilities take some wear and tear and the like, so we got to keep those up. We have 3 fields that we play on there at the park. Thankfully Southwestern High School allows us to use their softball field for some games. But we had so many teams participating, 31 teams practicing from T-ball through kid pitch. We created 3 actual practice fields out there with bases in place and everything like that. So everybody's getting a couple practices a week. So, but we're requesting an additional $10,000 to help offset some of the costs of some of our programming that's going on. We don't just do baseball, softball. We've partnered with the Jefferson County Soccer Association to have a soccer program there in Hanover, and they do a great job. There's no sense in recreating the wheel when Brian Sackleben and Paul DeLamrance know what they're doing when it comes to soccer. So we're partnering with them. They come out and take care of the fields. They provide the officiating. And we have the kids out there that participate. Last year, we had 9 teams, 3 different divisions, 3 in each. We hope to grow that. Also, we provided this past year a volleyball program for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, where we had 25 girls participating in our volleyball program. We're getting ready to start signing up for that again this year. And in our basketball program last year, girls basketball, there was not a girls basketball program in place for the elementary level. There was a boys program. If the girls wanted to play, they could play in that. So we started a girls basketball program for kindergarten through 5th grade, and we had 70 girls our first year. So we look to continue to build upon that as well. That's part of our programming and the like. That's taking care of the youth side of things, and we have adult programming as well, where we have co-ed softball, and also we have a men's basketball league that takes care of some things out there. So that's part of what we're asking for in our $10,000 request to help with our youth programming. Like I said, the fields take care of themselves. We have some stuff in place for those, but there's a lot of wear and tear that goes on to that. And our third request is, well, a poverty support. As you well know, Hanover is poverty stricken. There's 3,400 residents that live in the Hanover area. I know Hanover College is there, but the tax base is very, very limited at this time. So we're asking for some support there because we do not turn kids away from our programming. If they can't afford to pay and play, we still get them to play. We've had some great support from individuals that have given money to pay for those kids, sponsor their kids through team sponsorships, banner sponsorships, but we want to get some more kids involved as best we can. Also, some other programming we're doing, in fact, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we're doing a backpack giveaway, partnering with area churches out there, 150 backpacks, which probably won't be enough, but we'll take a waiting list of kids and try to get those taken care of. So. And that's just for the Hanover community. The kids are going to come out from 10 to noon on next Saturday, a week from this Saturday, to be part of that. Chelsea Church of God and some other churches have stepped up. We'll have backpacks, we'll have cone ice, we'll have a bouncy house, school supplies with them as well. So whatever support you guys can give, we greatly appreciate that, and we know the kids of Hanover and the surrounding area will benefit from whatever dollars you guys could budget towards us. Anything else? Thank you, guys.
I just want to thank you guys for the donation, the $100,000 towards our water. I don't think we had a chance to really reach out to you, but that's going to help us get the water meters, the Ready Read or whatever, and that's just going to change Hanover. So from the council, we really appreciate that.
You're very welcome. Yes.
Let the grass grow over my meter and not worry about it.
Yeah. Let it get covered up.
Fix grass covered intends to do that.
All right, Faith, I believe it's your turn.
Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Stand over here. So, first of all, I just kind of want to update you guys on what's happening out of the Veteran Service Office. We have a stand down. This year, we're partnering up with Scott County and Switzerland County to do a stand down / military appreciation day. That's gonna be on September 30th from 11 to 1:30 out at the community building out at the fairgrounds. The other thing that I've just scheduled is we're partnering up, our office is partnering up with Thornton Terrace. We're gonna do a pension seminar regarding veteran pensions and survivor pension benefits. And I also have a seminar planned with Jewel Place. We just haven't set a date for that yet. But the pension seminar at Thornton Terrace is gonna be on October 26th at 2 p.m. I'm grateful for the assisted living facilities and nursing homes in our area. They work really well with our office. As soon as they identify a veteran or the spouse of a veteran, they're getting them in touch with us so that we can make sure they're getting the benefits that they need. So we want to make sure that we're getting out in the public more. We're past COVID, so nursing homes and assisted living facilities have opened it up enough for us to be able to do this. So I think the last seminar I did was in 2019, so it's good to get back in there and get the information out to the public for that. We were gifted $5,000 from the city of Madison, which we're absolutely grateful for. Just so you know, we utilized half of those funds and purchased gift cards from Kroger to be either used for gas or groceries. We were just gifted this money, and we've already given out $300 in gift cards for veterans or spouses of veterans in need. So the reason why we wanted to do this is normally I will try and file for Military Family Relief Fund or another financial assistance program. But that takes time, and by the time veterans are coming to see me, it's a desperate situation. So we wanted to make sure that we had something on hand to be able to give that immediate relief. So thank you to City of Madison. That money is going to be well spent to serve the veterans in our community. So we're grateful for that. And then we'll get down to the nitty-gritty with the second quarter report out of our office. So we filed 531 claims during the second quarter that's from March to June. We had 165 in-office appointments. We had 256 walk-in appointments. I attended 15 different veteran meetings. I had 23 home visits with veterans or spouses of veterans. We filed 252 disability claims, 38 veteran pension claims, 63 widow pension claims. We had 21 property tax abatements, that's discount on property taxes for disabled veterans, and then 157 other different types of claims, whether it was, I'm trying to think, other state benefits, financial assistance, things of that nature. And then next is, we got the GDX figures for our county for fiscal year 2021. Last year, when we got our GDX figures for 2020, we had our veteran population in our county was right around 2,415. That dropped slightly. We now have 2,357 veterans as according to 2021's GDX figures. Total expenditures for our county was $19,968,000. $9,190,000 of that was for compensation and pension. And again, that's money that goes directly into the veterans' pockets. So that's $9,190,000 that we brought into the county just in compensation and pension alone. For educational expenses, we had $455,000. That again, that's monies that goes directly into veterans' pockets to be used for, school books, tuition, things like that. Insurance and indemnities, $105,000. That's life insurance policies, I believe, that were paid out for veterans or their spouses. And then $10,217,000 in medical care. So that right there, all of those figures combined, that adds up to the $19.968 million. But the biggest takeaway are the two, which would be the compensation and pension, which is over $9 million, and then the $455,000 for educational benefits. Those two directly impact veterans, meaning all of that money goes directly to the veterans in our county. So that was for 2021. So we surpassed 2020, which was 8.6 million, so that we brought into the county. So I'm proud of that and proud of the work that we're doing. We continue to be busy, and again, we don't turn any veterans away, whether they're from our county or not. If they need help, we're there for them, and that's all I've got. Do you have any questions for me?
Busy.
Yeah.
I am,
Busy.
but I love my job, and
It
again,
shows.
it truly surprises me, and I'm not kidding you. At least once a week, I will have a veteran come into our office, more often than not, walk-ins or sent over by the courthouse, that have never been in our office, didn't know our office is here, and so it just seems like no matter how much we try and get the word out, I'm still continue to be surprised by the amount of veterans that don't realize they have a county service officer here that will help them with their state and federal benefits. So we're continuing to try and get the word out. Again, now that COVID is pretty much over and we're able to be more of a presence out in the public, I'm hoping I can go a week without having a veteran come in saying, I never knew your office was here, so.
Appreciate the work you do.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll have some folks from Dow that will be at the stand down to help you out, so,
Okay.
we'll get this going.
Okay, and I actually have flyers for the stand down, so I'll email
Okay.
you guys flyers.
Do that.
We've already posted one in the courthouse, so,
Right,
regarding
get those
stand down.
out.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Sarah?
Yep. So Heather Huff asked me to present this for her tonight. This is the annual Dossett consulting contract for the auditor's office. And they enter this agreement every year. It's really nothing different. It's, short story, I guess, is it's regarding the indirect expenses from the child support. So anything that the auditor's office or the county does regarding child support, we actually get funded through the state. We can get some money back. So, she didn't tell me how much was collected last year, but it's, like I said, it's the same contract, and Dossett charges $5,000 for it, but then we of course bring in way more than that from just their, what they find to turn in, so that's that.
Thank you, ma'am.
So do we need to?
Yeah, need to
so
approve it.
Form of a motion.
Yeah, I move that we accept the
Dossett Consulting.
Dossett Consulting, personal consulting service agreement with Dossett Consulting with the auditor's office for $5,000 for 2020. Is this all of this year?
Yep, this is for this
Sorry,
year.
2022.
You just had a spider.
Is it crawling up?
No, he went under your arm. Raise your arm up.
The spider.
I'm saying that he dropped down under the ceiling. Anyway, I'll second that
I have
motion.
distracted everybody else.
Looked like a brown recluse to me.
Oh,
Oh, there he
falls over.
You second?
I second it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any more discussion or questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Oh, he's on you now. Bobby,
I'm afraid to enter.
you come on in. They're dangling from the ceiling.
Probably the most current item, we've definitely, we're trying to get our dust control wrapped up. Great Lakes Chloride's been down, so they've been running about the last 4 days. We're hoping we can get finished up with that tomorrow. The project on Doe Run is definitely looking a lot better. We're looking a little bit closer to that. I know a lot of the residents from Switzerland County and the surrounding areas are definitely looking forward to that one opened up. I know when we entered the unofficial detour for Lost Fork, I kind of anticipated they probably wouldn't use that one, but that was what NDOT had kind of proposed, but trying to pick one that was going to be a standard route for that area wasn't going to be very simple. But the strongest traffic and the most demands on the road seems to be running along Vernon Ridge and Fag Hill, coming off of that far into Doe Run, as well as Little Doe coming off of Splinter Ridge and that end of it. So we've been trying to address those. I think that was the first time we've ever had to have traffic control to be able to shoot the dust control on Little Doe Run because there was just that much traffic and box trucks. And I know when the grader was down there working on it one day this week, a semi even came up behind them. So it's just all kinds of fun, but we are kind of managing as that one rolls along. We've been replacing several small structures. Find small depressions in the road, and sure enough, it's usually a culvert failure. So I commend everybody on what they're doing on trying to be proactive on all these sewer drains and stormwater management and everything we've been doing. That has definitely tied into our asset management plan, and we've been very proactive on doing that, especially with our small structure inspection and the things that we do every day. Still prepping some of the roads for chip seal that we will start on August the 1st. That'll be running through September 30th, and then the plans are to go all into crack fill and crack seal programs. I've got some of those going on right now by some local vendors, as well as a Liquid Road project, and they'll be finishing up. It's similar to Liquid Road. It's called Action Road Grade, if I remember its name correctly. Basically sealing and preserving roads and keep those going as long as we can. The effort, the long-term goal will be to be able to touch about 60% of our asphalt roads so that we can basically maintain those from the best to worst, because that's the most efficient thing to do with our dollar, and hopefully that will in turn end up having more revenue to be able to be more aggressive sooner rather than later on our gravel road conversion programs. We've not got those scored yet. Everything's just been, I don't really like to use the word chaotic, but that's the one that seems to fit the best right now. But we've had a few that's been off for funeral leaves for losses within their family, some family vacations that they've been squeezing in, and just generally other challenges that comes up. Life pretty much sums it up. But the guys are working hard, doing very well. We are getting a few compliments come in. Vegetation control was also, Daltons were down, took care of that. I did add a little bit of, they have a program to control the Johnson grass as well as some of the broadleaf programs, or broadleaf invasive species, such as the poison hemlock and some of those weeds. So I sampled a little bit of that on, I think it was either 8 or 10 miles. Don't remember exactly what that mileage was, but to kind of see what that was, and that was something I'm going to be looking at to add into our budget for next year as a way to help maintain some of the weed that continues to kind of creep out there on the roads. All that was very successful. Really only had one complaint. He thought he was on the no spray list, but I couldn't find any documentation that he was on there, so we'll get that one taken care of in the future. So, but outside of that, it's business as usual. So keep cool and hydrated as much as you can out here in the heat. So.
Yeah.
So, very good. It's been very productive. Funding, yes. Glad I looked down. Let's check that money. Thank you. The ARP money that was given to the county highway department for the purchase of some equipment will be a great asset and help. Like I kind of mentioned to you guys, a lot of the things I was planning on bringing to the budget hearings and trying to figure out what to do for next year, that will speed up the purchases and help us to continue to be even more efficient with the equipment that we're not having to repair, and use some of that current budget money to get things in a little bit better shape that we already have. So thank you very much.
Welcome.
That's all I have. I'll get out of your way with y'all's permission.
Yeah,
I'm good.
All right.
thanks.
Thank you.
guys. Appreciate it.
Have a good evening. Dave or Troy out there?
Yes, Troy's here.
Troy?
The mayor's already given me away. I hide you out here, I said, no, the mayor's already given me away, so. Good evening. Business continues. I didn't realize in the job description it says, as duties, other duties as described. I've been a plumber the last week or so, as you guys know. But the leaks are fixed, and appreciate Commissioner Little's help on the weekend hours there. But we're on track to get those replacements made, and repairs are already made. So we'll make them pretty and usable here in the next few days, hopefully. So work continues on the multi-hazard mitigation plan with Burke Engineering. We just crossed the 50% mark, so we're a little over half done with that project, and it's on target to be done by the end of fall. So, which was scheduled. Let's see. The wide format printer has been replaced. You can see the old one out in the hallway. We're still trying to get clearance from Indianapolis because it was bought with grant money to put it in the dumpster as opposed to having to send it somewhere to be surplused out or whatever. But the new one is in place. It works. It's awesome. We're grateful for that. And again, that was paid for with a grant from Duke Energy. So that didn't cost anybody anything. Let's see, what else? Oh, yeah. The building in Hanover, 215 West LaGrange Road, we closed on that June 27th. So the owners had asked for 60 days for possession. That is August the 27th. We've been talking with them. They think they're on schedule to be out by August the 15th. Their last day in business is July 31st. And I think I've told you guys that I had a middle of the night emergency in my brain that set me up and woke me up in the middle of the night when I realized that we'd given the fairgrounds notice that we would vacate that building by August 31st. We were going to take possession no later than August the 27th, knowing we had to get the overhead doors opened or exposed at the Hanover building. And I guess I kind of forgotten that detail in that we've got to take 40 plus pallets out of the fairgrounds through overhead doors with a skid steer, and I wasn't real sure how we were going to get those through a couple 36-inch doors at the Hanover location. So transportation is taken care of, but the logistics of the skid steers we're still working on. So, but we'll get it done. So, but we're on track there. Everything's on schedule. Everything's good. We're grateful for that opportunity as well. It's going to be a much needed thing, and we're going to get a lot of good use out of it. And so. I think that's it, unless I'm forgetting something else. Any questions for me? Dave always has a question for me. Okay, thank you, John.
Thanks, Troy, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Dave's not out there, is he?
I haven't seen him yet, no.
Okay. All right. Well, public comment. Does anybody have anything they would like to bring up out there in the audience? Wow, I'm seeing smiles. Scary. That's scary.
Darts again.
Yeah. No, it's good. Thank you. Appreciate the smiles. Well, we have a couple letters from Terry. We'll look at those.
Okay.
Got that. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Whatever you can do to be helpful.
Nobody else? Is there anything else? Anything from your office?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. Mr. Bobby, you have a,
Yeah, I just want to, at this time, ask everybody to have the Black family in their thoughts and prayers. Councilman Ray Black, he lost his sister, Julie Licklider, and of course, everybody knows Robert and Rodney, and then Mary Copeland, so keep those people in your thoughts and prayers. Some better news. Through our Public Defender Board, we got this letter from the state that it's an annual county misdemeanor and felony level 6 reimbursements. Our misdemeanor amount is $20,973 will be deposited after July 31st, and our level 6 is $143,283.91. So that's through the efforts of the Public Defender Board, where the assigned attorneys, we get reimbursement for 40% of theirs, so that's good news. And not so good, insurance meeting. Today, due to everything that's went on, we could potentially have a 10.85% increase. So we'll have to be doing some adjusting and reach out on that, but other than that, I don't have anything.
nothing else. Mr. Dave, how about you, sir?
I think you've been kind of running the construction side of things, but it looks like this roof is almost completed
It's 95%.
on the new jail.
And also I've been working with John since he took Kenny's position, so I want to tell Troy I got dibs on warehouse space, because we want to get a lot of that equipment and stuff ordered and have it sitting there, so when they're ready for it, we can roll it in there and not, oh, I'm sorry, it's 2 weeks out. No, so.
Yeah.
But things are really progressing well out there. Some of the crews are working 12, 14 hours a day, to keep ahead of the ones that's coming in behind them. So we got one poly steel cell left to set in place, and then that's it. So
Good.
things are really looking good. So.
So the stormwater, kind of the real kickoff is gonna be in early August, so we're getting prepared for that, just to sit down, try to help folks understand what we're gonna try to do with this, and so we're gonna meet with the city sometime before that. I need to set that up, and then just have some discussions to see how we can work together on this and what things we can make sure mesh up well. Still on hold on the Jefferson Improving Ground Study. We're told not to go on there for study anymore. So the Jefferson Improving Ground Study, but so we had some discussions with the Madison Airport at the last county council meeting, but we had Nick Brown from Crawford, Murphy and Tilly there to have some help and support to talk about the study. So that's about it.
That it? We just had our residential treatment train meeting over here. They seem to be getting more productive, and I believe we're about ready to hire a community coordinator. Going to start interviews maybe this week. He's not here, Jason Craney, our new JRAC. But anyway, we get a community coordinator hired, and we can get this process moving on a little bit better. Looking forward to that. Got a call yesterday evening. The Honda plant is looking at going into some shutdown time, and they pay their employees. They don't really shut down, but they pay their employees. So I'm in contact with an individual that the Honda employees will come here to our community, especially the ones that live here, about 60 some in this community that work up there. They can come here and work on our streets, our highways, county roads, and they get paid by Honda, and we get
The help.
the help. So we're working on that process right now. I'll be sure to get that to you.
Thank you.
Yep. At least 2 weeks worth. So that's Hanover, it's Jefferson County. So yeah, and they're just chomping at the bit to help do things. So, sounds pretty interesting. That was a nice call last night. Really appreciated that. So that's only 2 things I got. Oh, the next meeting over here will be here, August 18th, for our, hopefully we'll have a community coordinator by then to kind of head the meeting up, kind of get this residential treatment process a little more solidified and keep it moving forward. As you all know, we need less people in jail rather than more. Need them to be out being productive in our society, and I'm sure they want to be. Get them back with their families. And so that's what we need to be working on, and we're working on it. It's slow, but we're working. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice?
Motion to adjourn, gentlemen.
I second that.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.